Today on WGN, the Cubs look to pull the plug on power player extraordinaire Prince Fielder. Today at 2 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Leadoff Man, brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Well, they were lined up around the park at around 9:15 this morning, getting ready for a big contest today as the Cubs play a critical game against first-place Milwaukee. They have split the first two of this series, and we jump into the month of July. From Wrigley Field, it's the Leadoff Man on WGN Sports. Welcome to Wrigley Field. I'm Len Casper. The sun is shining. It's cool. The wind is blowing in today. The Cubs with that thrilling comeback win on Friday, 13-4 Milwaukee yesterday. So let's get into the standings now in the National League Central. And basically the Cubs are where they were going into this series. 7.5 out and a chance to get back to 500 in game 80 of the season. Milwaukee bouncing back yesterday after giving up the game in the ninth. Let's hear from Lou Piniella on Ned Yost's first-place club.
You know, you had a good month and you still lost a game to these guys. Is this?
Give them credit. They played well.
Yeah. Do you get the sense they're not going to come back to you?
I didn't say that. I don't have any sense at all. I worry about the Chicago Cubs, and that's it. Nobody else.
No sense?
Well, I don't have any sense about their situation. Is what I meant. And maybe I don't have much sense. But I concern myself with our ball club, and that's it. The rest of the teams, they're in capable hands.
And the Cubs in capable hands. Certainly, Lou, just trying to downplay the importance of the game today. You want to win it because you only had 3 more against Milwaukee, but again, still not technically at the halfway point here in 2007. When we come back, we'll hear from Chicago native Cliff Floyd on the Leadoff Man.
On the next Scrubs.
What is it about me that makes everybody walk all over me?
Your voice gets really high when you're upset.
Rhetorical question, okay?
Elliot's confidence gets kicked to the curb.
This car has maxed up my credit, but I think it's worth it.
But when she tries to juice things up,
I've been waiting for someone to come along. Here you are.
her problems get even stickier.
That girl is extra strength crazy.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
They spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man!
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood Aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Another big crowd here today as the Cubs wrap up the homestand. They had their 7-game winning streak snapped yesterday, but still a chance to win this important series against Milwaukee. By the way, the Cubs 5.5 out in 5th place in the National League wild card. Never too early to talk about that. Well, great to have with us on the Leadoff Man show today, Cliff Floyd, back with his hometown team. And on Friday, a very special day for Cliff because his father, Cornelius, who has been struggling with his health for quite some time, we've talked a lot about it. He was actually at the ballpark, got out of the hospital for a day, and it meant a lot to Cliff.
It meant a lot to me. You know, he's been through a lot. you know, more than I've ever seen him go through. Because when he did get sick the first time, with the kidney, you know, my mom wouldn't let me really see him that much and stuff like that. But this time, you know, him coming out to the ballpark meant the world to him, I know. I know he hates missing my ball games, and I know that, you know, being in a hospital for 3 weeks in a hospital bed is not him. So him coming out, just getting outside and getting on his feet, putting on some, you know, putting on his clothes, felt really good. And you know what? When he got back to the hospital that day, you know, all those machines and stuff they got him hooked up to, he wasn't on. I meant, you know, it did a world of a difference for him.
Are you one of those people who believes that everything kind of happens for a reason? And again, you never want to see your dad go through what he's gone through. But the fact that you signed with the Cubs, your hometown team, and now you've been able to be here for him during the season, which isn't always the case as a big league baseball player. Yeah, it definitely worked out. You know what I mean? And, you know, I thought about it before the season, and I never imagined my dad getting sick. I just thought that me coming home was an opportunity for me to see my family more and see everybody more, see my, you know, my immediate family and my whole family, you know what I mean? Everybody, cousins, uncles, aunts, everybody. And I think with my dad being sick and me being somewhere else, it wouldn't be possible for me to go out there and play. I'd probably have to be home, missing a ton of time, you know, not being able to do what I want to do. You know, I feel bad as it is, even going out to dinner or going to the lakefront with my kids. I feel, you know, because my dad's just laying up there, and I feel like any opportunity, and I hate going to the hospital. I have to admit, I hate going up there. I hate sitting them laying there. I hate, you know, and I make myself go. But any extra time you get is always thinking about him and when he's getting out of there and when he can get back to normal activities. This team is playing its best baseball of the season, a big game certainly today against Milwaukee, but you guys aren't surprised. This is how you felt you should have been playing probably since opening day, right? Yeah, no doubt. And, you know, the big thing with us is, you know, keeping everybody healthy. We know we're going to play good baseball. We don't know why things seem to be so tough for us. That's been that's been like the frustration thing, I guess, if you can say any word. Is that we don't know why, like, you know, we struggle. I mean, it's, you know, if you look at the stats, we pretty much hit well. We're up there in the top of the league in pitching. We're up there in the top of the league in hitting and scoring runs. You know, you can't just say, well, you know, we don't hit with the guys in scoring position, because we do score runs. You know, we do get a lot of hits. But I don't know. I just think sometimes it boils down to the little things. Because for me, the few mistakes we make seem to always cost us. And that's been my only theory to it. So hopefully second half of the season, well, now I won't say second half because we got 2 weeks before the break. So hopefully, you know, we finish the break strong. In the second half, we'll put together like we put together during our 7-game stretch. Last thing, do you have any idea how much people like you? I mean, seriously, everybody, because people knew that I was in Florida with you, and they'd come up to me after a month. Cliff Floyd, one of the nicest guys on the planet. I mean, what's the secret? Man, you know what? The secret, I guess, is having both my mom and dad at home and just teach me wrong from right. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I don't try to be the best guy. I just try to be myself. And, you know, we've always talked about being a front guy, and that's all I try to do. All right, you're the best. Thanks, Cliff. Thanks for having me. That's Cliff Floyd, and boy, I tell you, today, Jason Marquis needs to give the Cubs a lot of innings. The starters in this series for the Cubs, 5 total innings. Bullpen needs a rest. We'll talk about the pitchers when we come back.
You packed your own shoots for the first time, and that's a big deal. As a surprise, I stocked the fridge in the hangar with Bud Light.
Hey, where's the Bud Light?
It's the left polo.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
That's cold. Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injuries, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain. Tuesday on WGN. The Cubs are feeling patriotic when they swing by the nation's capital to take on the Nationals. Mr. Soriano is back in Washington. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Now the starting pitcher is right-hander Jason Marquis. After a winless June, will try to get July started with his first win since early May. Dave Bush, his last outing, a relief win for Milwaukee on Wednesday against Houston. The Cubs have beaten him both times he has started against them this year. We'll have Cubs baseball from beautiful Wrigley Field, the all-important rubber game between the Brewers and the Cubs coming up next.
The Leadoff Man has been brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs.
Just think about it. Get it.
No, see, when people think of Geico, right, they think of car insurance. And, of course, saving money. But sometimes that can lead even the savviest driver astray. Take, for example, the motorcycle owner. He calls Geico wanted to save money on his car insurance, only to realise that he doesn't actually own a car. Well, needless to say, he's quite embarrassed, isn't he? Doesn't matter. Geico insures motorcycles and ATVs as well. That way, no one ends up looking foolish.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Hey, Cubs fans, keep your eye on the ball. Every time a Cubs player hits a homer at Wrigley, you could be a winner. It's the Southwest Airlines How Far Did It Fly home run contest. After every Cubs homer, write down the distance, along with your name and address, and send it to WGN TV. 10 winners will receive 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination. For every Cubs homer, ask yourself, how far did it fly? From Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the Chicago Cubs. On the next Scrubs.
What is it about me that makes everybody walk all over me?
Your voice gets really high when you're upset.
Rhetorical question, okay?
Elliot's confidence gets kicked to the curb.
This car has maxed up my credit, but I think it's worth it.
But when she tries to juice things up,
I've been waiting for someone to come along. Here you are.
her problems get even stickier.
That girl is extra strength crazy.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN. These doctors are on the cutting edge of comedy. Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN. The following is a presentation of WGN Sports.
It's a beautiful day to be out in the Bud Light bleachers today. A lot of sunshine. Temperatures have cooled off a little bit. The wind is blowing in. A lot of offense yesterday as Milwaukee pounded the Cubs 13-4, but still a chance to win this series. The Cubs 7.5 out. They'll try to take the rubber game today against the first-place team in the National League Central. Cubs hosting the Brewers on WGN Sports. Welcome to Cubs baseball today. Bob Renly and Len Casper with you, and we say hello to the month of July and a wild but ultimately very good month of June for the Cubs.
No June swoon this year. The Cubs played their best baseball of the season so far in the month of June. Everything was clicking. The offense was good. The pitching was good. And as I say all the time, the defense much improved, and it all added up to a very good month.
Another roster move for the Cubs today. Billy Petrick spent 1 day in the minor leagues after getting sent out Friday. Rocky Cherry on the DL now with a right lat strain, and that puts a lot of pressure on the starters now who haven't given him enough innings.
Well, and Jason Marquis is one of those starters that really needs to get deep in this ballgame. His last 6 starts, he has not worked past 6 innings in the ballgame. You see what he did against Colorado on Monday. They really need Jason to eat up some innings today.
Speaking of relievers and starters, Dave Bush has done both here lately.
Yeah, his last victory was a 2-inning relief outing, his only relief outing of the season. It's a guy that features a cut fastball. Lou has a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup today.
Very important game today. After this one, the Cubs will only see the Brewers 3 more times all year. It'll be a series at Wrigley Field in late August. So we're set for baseball, but first, Contori with God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
The singing voice of Rockford in the singing of God Bless America, followed by our national anthem.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the ocean, white with gold. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the
Here we go. The Cubs hosting the first-place Milwaukee Brewers. Chance to gain a game in the standings. We'll have the lineups and all the action coming at you next.
Chicago Cubs baseball, brought to you by Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. Comcast. Catch more Cubs home games in HD on Comcast Digital Cable. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV today. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit southwest.com today.
They spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the two of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not...
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen with fresh baked waffles. Do one. And now go to freezeclickwin.com for a chance to win $500 daily.
Well, how about this? Bruce Fremming, the crew chief, swapping out an umpire's cap for the Cubs cap for a photo opportunity. Perry out there, a little handshake for the Cubs hitting coach as well. Bruce today will be working second base. A little smile and a wave to Bob Brenly up here in the broadcast booth. So the Cubs taking the field. Cubs baseball here on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, presented in high definition, sponsored by Comcast, and brought to you in 5.1 Dolby surround sound. Mark DeRosa is going to play right today, and musical chairs in the bullpen, Bob, and I think defensively as well here in certain spots. DeRosa began the game at second yesterday, ended up at short, and playing right here today.
I'll tell you, Mark DeRosa is to be commended for his attitude throughout this whole process in the early going this season. He signed with the Cubs with the idea he was going to be the everyday second baseman. He's played second, he's played third, he's played first, he's played right. They put the good of the team ahead of his own personal stats and numbers. Gotta love that.
Now the Milwaukee Brewers starting lineup. They come in with the best record in the National League. Corey Hart with a career best 16-game hitting streak. J.J. Hardy at short. Been a huge series for Ryan Braun. Prince Fielder will probably find out, maybe already has, that he's made the All-Star team. Bill Hall in center. Estrada Jenkins his first action this weekend. Weeks at second, and Bush the pitcher.
Take a look at the Cubs defensively, brought to you by Pepsi. Move your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, Pagan, and DeRosa across the outfield. Ramirez at third. Ryan Theriot back in the lineup at shortstop today. Mike Fontenot at second base. Derek Lee over at first. Coy Hill will be doing the catching today for right-hander Jason Marquis.
Just 3 innings for Rich Hill on Friday. Sean Marshall went 2 yesterday as the Brewers have batted around in the first inning both days. Good start, strike one. Nine first-inning runs allowed by Cubs starters in this series. 1-1.
And the Brewers have played a little musical lineup as well. Ned Yost trying to find a combination that works well, and apparently Corey Hart is the guy that he likes best in that leadoff spot. The Brewers are 10 games over 500 when Corey Hart is the leadoff hitter. 17-7 coming into play today.
Well, when you sport a .390 on-base percentage, that's going to keep you atop the lineup. Bouncer to third base on one hop, and the Brewers are fired across to Derek Lee. Wow. I mentioned Fremming at second base, and the other umpires today working the plate in his 9th year, Brian Rumge. Wegner and Winters on the corners. Shortstop J.J. Hardy takes strike one. These two teams have the same trip coming up. They're just going to swap opponents as the Cubs will head to Washington for 4 games against the Nationals starting tomorrow night. Then they'll go to Pittsburgh for 3. The Brewers go to Pittsburgh for 4, and then D.C. for 3, and then the All-Star break.
Well, it seems that's the way it used to be in baseball. You always had a travel partner that would go on the road the same time you were on the road, play the opposite teams, much like the Brewers and the Cubs are doing on this next road trip.
Another ground ball. This time it's Ryan Theriot getting an opportunity.
Can it be any nicer?
It really can't be any nicer.
Just a beautiful afternoon for baseball. Bright sunshine, wind blowing straight in from center field. Very comfortable afternoon here at Wrigley.
We've had great weather really all week. A couple of major downpours, but one was before a game. The other one was after a ball game.
Even Mother Nature had her pocket schedule out this week.
Busted back. Oh, Jason Marquis, I think, got hit by that bat. He was able to make the play and get the out. Man, I hope he's all right. If the barrel gets him, that's major trouble, but the other end has that razor-sharp splinter sticking out of it. He might head right into the tunnel to make sure he's all right. Wow. Oh. What a play.
Make it easy for yourself. With Southwest Airlines, you can fly nonstop from Chicago Midway to Long Island MacArthur for just $39 one way with a 7-day advance purchase.
You are now free to move about the country.
Verizon Wireless feats of unlimitedness. On June 14th, Becky Marks got a text from Kate Davies and got busy making history. Sending 48 text messages over the course of 3 minutes. Becky shattered the previous record held by Tommy Two Thumbs Thompson. Her parents' reaction? Relief. Because they have the new Verizon Wireless Premium plan. It's unlimited messaging, navigating, access to videos, and more. All from the network in one great plan for a great price. And now get an Envy in your choice of color.
They've always brought you great rooms at great rates. And now, the experts at Hotels.com are the first to bring you flexible booking, which lets you change or even cancel your reservation without any fees from us. So you don't have to worry if your plans change. And with the lowest price guaranteed, you never have to worry about paying too much. That's what flexible booking is all about. Just log on or call our certified experts now to find out more. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
Now the Cubs lineup quickly brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. Soriano, Theriot, Lee at the top. Ramirez, DeRosa, Fontenot in the middle. Pagan, Hill, and Marquis at the bottom. And his right-hander Dave Bush is ready to work. Against Alfonso Soriano, who bounces it to Prince Fielder. Backhanded play. And Bush over to cover first.
Well, we certainly hope Jason Markey is okay. You'll get a look from our Southwest RoboCam. Barrel of the bat followed the ball right out to the mound. Jason Markey with great concentration to be able to stay with the baseball and complete the play, but was obviously struck by some part of that barrel of that bat as it went helicoptering out into the middle of the infield. Boy, that is scary. Man.
Ryan Theriot batting. 1 out, nobody on. Well, that's good to see. And then the fact that he made the play was remarkable. And you can see a little red mark on his right cheekbone.
I believe we talked about this last year. In the past, there was only 1 or 2 bat companies that players would deal with.
Fair ball hit by Theriot through the Brewers bullpen. It's going to stop there, and that'll make it an easy double for Theriot.
Just to finish that thought, there used to only be a couple of bat manufacturers, and you rarely saw what we just saw with Jason Markey, where the barrel went flying out into the middle of the infield. But so many more bat companies nowadays, and we have seen far too much of this. The barrel of the bat flying out into the middle of the infield or flying up into the stands, and boy, every time it happens, you just hold your breath.
Here's Derek Lee, runner at second after the Theriot double. Breaking pitch is a strike. You saw that Jason held his ground for quite a while because the ball was coming at him as well, and at the very last millisecond turned his head away. That could have been a lot worse. I don't know what's going to happen today, but that might be our Budweiser play of the game right off the bat. Just to be able to get that ball as the barrel of the bat was flying at him.
Yeah, to be able to have that kind of concentration, to keep your eye on the baseball, even though you know the barrel of that bat is getting awfully close to your head. So he manages to stay with the ball. The bat kind of wraps around his left arm, maybe a little bit of his right arm, hits him on the side of the face. Oh, man. Thank goodness he's all right.
Bush with a 1-2 pitch, and fouled off by Derek Lee, and he's been asked a lot lately about the lack of home runs. Derek with 6 home runs, but he's hitting doubles, 26 doubles. His batting average at .340. If you look at all first basemen in the major leagues, the averages are .274 with a batting, .356 on base, .455 slugging, and Derek well above all those numbers. Hitting .340, is on base .415, and he's still slugging .502. So he's fine. He's fine.
I think it's more a byproduct, Leonard, the way he's being pitched.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it repeatedly over the last month or so. Derek Lee rarely gets pitches from the middle of the plate in. And if he does, it's a mistake. It's not by design that pitchers are challenging him inside.
Lofts it into shallow center. It's going to drop down for a base hit, and Theriot's going to have to hold at third base. He wasn't quite sure that ball was going to get down. So first and third with 1 out. Ramirez coming up. The wind is blowing in, so balls probably are going to end up dropping in front of outfielders. But again, this one was a little bit too high in the air apparently for Ryan to really gauge it.
And Bill Hall with good speed out there in center field. Ryan cautious initially. When he sees it's going to drop, he really turns it on, hoping to get the sign from Mike Quaddy to go on home, but Hall was way too close to home plate when he got to that ball. That was an easy throw to the dish. They had to hold Ryan at third base.
Another good hand for Aramis Ramirez. Got a great ovation before his first at bat in game 2 after the huge home run to win the opener. Leaks playing up the middle at second base. Fisted foul.
Of course, Friday afternoon, Aramis Ramirez touched off the biggest celebration we've seen here at Wrigley Field so far this summer. Full house, everybody stayed to the very end of the ball game, and Aramis sent them all home happy.
Those home plate celebrations are fun to watch. Fortunately, nobody got hurt. That one laced, and the Cubs will get the lead as Terrio will easily score. Lee toward third. Quaddy's going to send it. The relay throw by Ricky Weeks is going to be way late. In fact, cut off by Fielder, and it's 2-0. So Ramirez knocks in two. He has 47 RBIs. And the Cubs getting up in the first inning. Good to see.
Boy, and good to see the early approach by the Cubs hitters. We're only 4 hitters deep into this ball game, but 3 of the hitters have gone to the opposite field. Ramirez finding that gap in right center. He had a hole big enough on the right side to drive a truck through from our Southwest RoboCam. You see him split that gap in right center. Derek Lee with a real good read at first base. He'll come all the way around and score without a play.
Buried in the dirt. Ball 1 on Mark DeRosa. Well, Ramirez coming through again. The All-Stars will be announced in a couple of hours. Alfonso Soriano hopefully will be in the starting lineup. He was in the top 3 among outfielders the last check in the online voting. And Ramirez should make it as a backup. Derek Lee has a chance to get in. Maybe an outside chance for Carlos Zambrano. I think 2 minimum. Inside. 2-1. So we may know, and we may be able to tell you before we go off the air today who the Cubs All-Stars will be. They'll play in San Francisco a week from Tuesday. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Prince Fielder will probably be in that starting lineup at first base.
Had a considerable lead over Albert Pujols at the first base position. We talked about it on Friday. If indeed he is elected, he'd be the first fan voted All-Star from the Brewers since 1988.
He held up in time.
DeRosa checking on a high pitch. No question he kept the bat back that time, running the count to full.
Well, Derek Lee deserves to be on the All-Star team. The problem is he's at a position where you have probably 5 or 6 guys who deserve to go. Fielder's coming over, flipping down the shades, but won't have enough room. Wind pushing that out of play.
Every year there's going to be controversy. Guys that get to go to the All-Star game that perhaps shouldn't, and guys that don't get to go that should be there. I'm sure there'll be some very spirited dispute this week over the makeup of the various All-Star teams.
Three and 2 on DeRosa. 1 out runner at second. Struck him out. 2 away for Fontenot.
It's a rarity. Dave Bush hardly ever throws his changeup to right-handed hitters. It's a pitch he usually only uses against the lefties. He has a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, and a cut fastball that has really become his go-to pitch. And I mentioned it earlier, Lou Piniella with a lot of right-handed hitters in the lineup today. 4 lefties and 2 switch hitters available off the bench against a right-handed starter. And we know Lou likes to play the percentages and try to get the righties in there against the lefties and the lefties against the righties. But I really think this is an idea to combat that cut fastball. Get the right-handed hitters in the lineup. That cutter is a pitch that works away from them out over the plate.
Fontenot in the air to center. Bill Hall moves back a couple of steps. And if Mike wants to continue his 12-gamer, it'll have to be in a later at-bat. Ramirez with a 2-run double, and the Cubs are out on top.
I got an idea.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right.
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
At Sacred Heart Hospital, we treat patients like family.
Giving each individual the kind of personal attention you won't find anywhere else.
Carla?
Our doctors are among the best in the nation.
Claire! I'm alive!
And we're the leading edge in diagnostics.
Well, either this kid has a light bulb up his butt or his colon has the great idea.
In our home, you don't just get better, you get the best.
And every employee takes pride in his work.
Man, I'm making it worth my while.
Scrubs, weeknights at 11:30 on Superstation WGN.
From the night I went to the prom by myself to my 18th birthday party where all my ex-boyfriends showed up. It's all right here in the diary of me, Moesha Mitchell. Occupation, teenager.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Ramos Ramirez with another big two-run extra base hit. And a game winner on Friday as Fielder lines the other way, and Soriano makes a catch. Almost in crouch position. Right place at the right time. That ball was crunched.
That's why we have defensive charts. If you're going to pitch him a certain way, he's likely to hit the ball in that direction, and Cubs had him played perfectly. Big pull shift on the infield, slightly to the opposite field in the outfield.
Deep breath for Marquis. Good to see him back out on the mound after getting hit by a broken bat. And you see the mark on the right cheek. And part of that bat hit him. One ball, one strike. Bill Hall making the switch to full-time duty this year at center field, and talking to the Brewers people, he has worked very hard and has become an excellent defensive center fielder. Gobbled up by Terrio. And Bill Hall is out. 5 up, 5 down for Jason Marquis.
For the first 5 outs coming on the ground, which is what you would expect when Jason Marquis is on top of his game, keeping that sinker down in the zone. Infield's going to be busy.
Johnny Estrada, switch hitting catcher, will dig in. Tell you what, Doug Melvin, their general manager, and their manager Ned Yost, they know what they're doing. Looking at spring training and what might happen. I mean, Corey Koski may not ever come back, unfortunately, from the concussion. And I was looking at the roster saying, well, why don't you just put Bill Hall at third base? Well, they had this kid named Ryan Braun, who wasn't yet in the big leagues, but they knew he was going to be here eventually, and it's worked out perfectly for them. Now you have Hall entrenched in center, and they have Ryan Braun, and their top prospects now manning the hot corner, and he's been terrific. They had Counsell and Graffinino in a platoon there before they brought up Braun.
And for me, that's the ideal situation, Len, when you have a young player who's a starter at a position and you have veteran players available off the bench. Graffinino and Counsell and Damian Miller, all veteran guys. They've played on winning teams. They know what it takes to win.
Back of first, Lee to Marquis. Another 1-2-3 inning for Marquis. Comes back to work on offense. Marquis, in fact, will hit third coming up.
They spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
Come fall in love with New Orleans all over again.
There's no place like it.
Music comes bubbling right up from the street.
Come for the party!
Come feel good.
Everybody loves the French Quarter.
Come for the yacht.
The food.
Come for it all.
Come fall in love with New Orleans all over again.
Call now or visit NewOrleansOnline.com to order your free guide and get great hotel rates starting at $79.
Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN.
What a great day to play catch. That glove may be a little bit big right now.
Nice catch.
Dave the ball hawk out there.
Back up, back up.
Not sure if we'll see any out on Waveland or Sheffield today with the wind blowing in, but you never know.
You know, every dad reaches that point when you play catch with your young children that you need to back up a little more. Dad can't handle that fastball.
Roller and Ricky Weeks able to stretch that left arm at the last second.
Yeah, it starts out underhanded and then all's well and good, and then the youngster ends up having a better arm than Dad, and you have to keep backing up further and further and further until eventually Dad can't throw the ball far enough to play catch with youngsters.
Interesting reflection. Looks like the sun is literally across the street. You have one of those, I know, when you need to get around on the ramps. It's a little bigger than that.
Easy going down, a little tougher coming up. See, if mine had a handle on it like that, you could push me up the ramp.
That might be a little weird. Otherwise, it's fine. Nobody notices. Coy Hill batting. Each team with a roster move today involving the bullpen. The Cubs placing Rocky Cherry on the 15-day disabled list with a right lat strain. Rocky came back from Iowa yesterday. Another ground ball through the legs of Prince Fielder. That'll be his 10th error. And a one-out base runner in the second.
Look, Prince Fielder does so many things well on the baseball field. It surprises me that this is his 10th error of the season. Just didn't get the glove down in time. Goes right through the wickets on into right field for an error on Fielder at first base. We've seen his range down there at first. We've commented how far off the line he plays as a first baseman. Talked about his base running. Obviously, his offensive skills are off the charts. Kind of surprised to see him struggle as much as he has defensively.
One strike on the pitcher, Marquis, who will try to move Hill into scoring position. Getting signs from Mike Quaddy. Met Mike's parents in town this weekend. They live in Naples, Florida. So good to have the Quaddies here. Big swing and a miss. Ryan Braun was about 45 feet from home plate when Marquis took that hack.
Yeah, unfortunately, he chases a bad pitch. He'd like to set up that butcher boy, show the bunt, draw that third baseman in, and unfortunately that time Marquis chased a pitch that was up and out of the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. That's strike three. By the way, it was Braun who had a broken bat. Helicopter out to the mound. So just to follow up, Rocky Cherry, who came back, ended up back on the roster for one day. Pitched 2 innings, could not come back out for the third inning of relief yesterday. So he's on the DL with a right lat strain. And Billy Petrick went home to Morris yesterday. He didn't even make it to Iowa. He was called up originally from Tennessee. So Billy is back. Said he watched a little of the game and drove down 55, went home, had a nice meal, and back in the big leagues.
Well, and the only way you can recall a player who has not spent 10 days in the minor leagues is if there's an injury to a player that plays the same position. And in this case, a pitcher. And Rocky Cherry went down with the injury. That allowed the Cubs to call Petrick right back up, even though he wasn't in the minor leagues for 10 days. He wasn't even in the minor leagues for 1 day.
Meanwhile, the Brewers today sent right-handed reliever Jose Capian to the Detroit Tigers for a minor league left-hander, Chris Cody, who was in A-ball. Got Soriano's attention. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Estrada's looking for an elevated fastball. You can see how high he sets up behind home plate, and that one just gets away from Dave Bush, runs up and in, pushing Soriano off the plate. I don't think that was his intention, but certainly you can use that to your advantage on the next pitch. Goes right back up the ladder once again.
Capian missed the opening day roster and had requested a trade when he was down in the minor leagues. Eventually got his wish. Giovanni Gallardo will probably hang around the rest of the year in their bullpen with Chris Capuano coming off the disabled list on Tuesday. He'll start in Pittsburgh. I guess in an emergency today, if they needed Gallardo, he could pitch. But they'll play with a 24-man roster probably tomorrow as well, and then just bring Capuano off the disabled list Tuesday. Late swing by Soriano. He waved back on the curveball, and then I think was even late on that swing. 2-0.
Tuesday on WGN, the Cubs are feeling patriotic. Cubs Nationals, Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
We match you across 29 dimensions of compatibility. And right now, not only can you log on to eHarmony.com and get your personality profile, you can also review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you would be matched up with according to compatibility?
He loves me for me.
Visit eHarmony.com and discover what so many singles have found. Log on today and review your eHarmony matches absolutely free. eHarmony.com.
If a Cubs player hits a homer today, write down the distance and player's name and send it to WGN TV. You could win 2 round-trip tickets to any Southwest Airlines destination.
Just think about it. Get it?
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Your official summer baseball station is brought to you by Budweiser. Born in America, enjoyed around the world. This is Budweiser. This is beer.
Nicely done, partner. 3rd inning. Jeff Jenkins with his first at bat of the weekend. Kevin Mensch getting 2 starts against left-handed starters. Kevin Mensch walked twice more yesterday. 3 on the weekend. This has to feel good for Jeff Jenkins. Made his major league debut in 1998. He has not been on a winning ball club. And his team right now with the best record in the league. Marquis ready for an 0-2 pitch. It's fouled back. And I think we talked about it the first series we saw the Brewers in April. In spring training, Jeff Jenkins and Kevin Mensch both basically said, I'm not a platoon player. But they've been in first place just about the entire year. And you know what? For a couple of veterans, you win. They've been successful. You don't hear a word.
Yeah, winning baseball tends to remedy a lot of hurt feelings, and I'm sure Jenkins and Mensch both believe they can go in there on an everyday basis and help the team win, but we hear Lou talk about it all the time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. The two guys have complemented each other very well out there in left field. And I think if you ask Jeff Jenkins, would you rather be a platoon player on a winning team or a starting player on a bad team, he would much rather play for a winning team at this point in his career.
It's a great point. And knowing Jeff a little bit, you know, he's played full time on some bad teams. And I'm sure that he's thrilled with what's going on this season, even though he hasn't been an everyday player. Low and outside, 1-2. Weeks on deck. A wind and the 1-2. Struck him out swinging. First strikeout for Jason, who relies heavily on his defense as a sinker baller.
He will pick up the occasional strikeout. This comes on a cut fastball. Starts on the inside corner, moves in under the hands of Jeff Jenkins. That's a dangerous pitch if you don't get it to your spot. That ball down and into a left-handed hitter. Jenkins, like a lot of lefties, loves that ball down and in.
Weeks 0 for his last 11.
See, the green lines are ground ball outs. No fly ball outs through 3 innings so far for Jason Marquis. I guess the line out to Soriano would count as a fly ball out.
Two and 0 the count on Weeks. Inside. Weeks with some time on the disabled list this year with right wrist tendonitis, a surgically repaired wrist. He had surgery on it in late July of last year. There's ball 4, and the Brewers have their first base runner. But the pitcher coming up, Dave Bush. We have news from around the majors. A shocking development in Seattle is Mike Hargrove has resigned as the Mariners manager, and they're playing great baseball right now. The Mariners have won 7 straight. And I guess he just lost his passion. So trying to be true to himself. And John McLaren, a longtime bench coach for Lou Piniella. The bench coach for Hargrove has taken over as a manager of the Mariners.
Well, it is really puzzling. The Mariners are 11 games over 500 going into play today. Only 4 games behind the Angels in that AL West. As you said, 7 straight wins, 9 out of their last 10. And depending on what the Mariners decide to do, ball club's in good hands with John McLaren. He has been an outstanding bench coach for a long time in the major leagues.
Ramirez way in at third. Bush already showing bunt. And looks at a strike. Well, really no big secret that I think Lou Piniella would have loved to have John McLaren here on his staff when he got the job. But in the end, I think John decided, you know what, I've been with Lou for a long time. I'm going to do something else. And as a bench coach of the Mariners, now taking over as their manager. Marquis with a nice play, and he'll run it over and flip to the second baseman Fontenot. That'll be a sacrifice for Bush.
Fourth sack bunt of the year for Bush. I love to watch Jason Marquis play defense. He never assumes anything. He's going to go after that ball, and he's thinking lead runner the whole time. Gets to the ball. He looks at second base. He realizes that his momentum is carrying him toward first. It's going to be an awkward throw to try to go back across his body to second base. Doesn't want to risk a bad throw, so just take the sure out. Try to get that third out here before allowing Weeks to get on the plate.
First pitch strike.
Now, some pitchers are very aggressive defensively. They're always thinking lead runner. Other pitchers are much more passive. They're content just to take the out at first base. Rarely will they even check on the lead runner.
Ken Griffey Jr. with his 585th career home run today. Hit a 3-run shot off Cardinals left-hander Mike Maroth. So he's one back of Frank Robinson for 6th place on the all-time home run list. Just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If you watch Jason Marquis, we talk about position players anticipating the ball being hit one direction or the other. Watch Jason Marquis. He knows it's a sacrifice bunt situation. He was coming off that mound before the ball even got to the hitting area, trying to get himself in the best possible position to try to get that lead runner.
Pitcher's strike. Up in the count on the red-hot Corey Hart. Has a sign from Hill. Here he comes again. Couldn't get him to chase a slider. Brewers brought out their big bats yesterday. 15 hits and 13 runs. The day before, they scored 5 times in the first inning and didn't score again. Well, they kept scoring yesterday. And he went. Brian Runge made the call from back of the plate. Brewers strand 1. It's 2-0 Cubs.
Have you enjoyed a Budweiser lately? Because I can only describe the smoothness you'll get from Beechwood aging. I can only tell you about the choicest hops. But if you really want to understand what makes Budweiser the king of beers, you have to taste it. Just taste it. The perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam. Because at Denny's, you can always eat like it's the weekend.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
They've spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
The palpitation.
Look at what you did to Paula, man.
The revelation.
Okay, I admit it, I've got a crush.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind.
That is the most intelligent thing you've ever said on this show.
Tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN. Scrubs, late nights on Superstation WGN. Tuesday on WGN, the Cubs are feeling patriotic when they swing by the nation's capital to take on the Nationals. Mr. Soriano is back in Washington. Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Big fun out in the Bud Light bleachers today as the Cubs lead the Brewers 2-0. Terry Lee and Ramirez due up against right-hander Dave Bush, who is 0-2 against the Cubs this year. Ryan's playing shortstop. Yesterday, Mike Fontenot started the game at short, but then made an error in the first inning, and Terrio now 2 for 2. Hustling to second. It'll be his second double.
First double down the right field line, this double down the left field line. A hanging breaking ball, and Terrio gets that bat head out front and jerks that ball down into the corner. I'll tell you, any mishandling of this ball by Jeff Jenkins in left field, and Terrio probably ends up on third base. He knows that's a double. That's a sure double for Ryan Terrio, but he's not content to just stop at second base. He's going to take a turn. Once Jenkins got the ball back into the cutoff man in good shape, only then did he stop.
Derek Lee, base hit into left. Terrio will try to score. Here comes a throw by Jenkins toward the plate. And no, safe. Thought they had him. Called safe by Brian Runge. And it's 3-0. Ned Yost is out. It'll be an RBI for Derek. Well, normally when the throw beats you, they call you out. But Brian Runge, in his estimation, thought that Terrio got in under the tag, and we'll check it out.
Well, this is something you just can't practice. You see Jenkins throw, air mails everybody all the way to home plate in the air. Woo. Saying that you can't practice that avoidance slide at home plate, but we've seen Ryan Terrio do it several times this year. Most of the time he avoids the tag. I'm not so sure about that one. Estrada just caught the ball and blindly made a big sweep with his left hand. Looked like he did catch Terrio on the back of the left shoulder as he went sliding past. In the estimation of Brian Runge, however, Terrio had his hand on the plate before the tag was applied.
Very close play. I think he's trying to describe what happened there at home plate. Cubs will gladly take it. 3-0. Popped up by Ramirez. And dropped by Braun. Fair ball. Now you had brief contact between Ramirez and Estrada right near home plate.
After Ramirez pops this ball high in the air as he's coming out of the batter's box, he gets tangled up a little bit with Johnny Estrada. I don't think Estrada found it right away. Just the slightest of contact right there. Estrada gives way expecting Braun to catch it. I think Braun thought Estrada had a better play on that ball. Neither one able to come up with it. You see Bush backing out of the way. He lost it in the sun right away. And Estrada and Braun got caught looking at each other. Braun comes in, tries to make the last second catch looking up into the sun. Ball hits off the heel of the glove and drops.
Second error made by the Brewers, first and third with no outs. Well, should Aramis have been at second base? I mean, you know, when a ball went up, we saw him kind of looking at it.
Well, you'd like to believe he should be on second base. Of course, he's still playing with that injured knee, not running at 100% at this point. I'm not sure if he would have been able to make it to second base.
Big swing by DeRosa. 1-2.
Good base running on the part of Derek Lee, however. He saw that ball hit off the glove of Ryan Braun, and when it ricocheted far enough away for Derek to advance, he was in a position to be able to do that. Breaking ball, and Aramis just kind of tracks the flight of the pop-up before jogging down the first baseline. When the ball bounces that far away, I have to believe Aramis would have been able to make it to second base. Derek Lee kind of got out there in his secondary lead and tried to read what was going to happen on that play right out in front of home plate and was able to advance easily.
Up the middle, diving attempt. Hardy can't get it. 4-0. A two-run third and still no outs. Mike Maddox coming out.
Bush leaving a lot of pitches up in the strike zone. From our Southwest RoboCam, Mark DeRosa doing what he does best, stay up the middle of the field. In the opposite field, finds a hole back up the middle. That pitch is up there around the belt, inside part of the plate. DeRosa with a clean single back up the middle of the field. Send it right back where it came from.
Three hits and an error in the inning.
6 hits in the last 3 innings. You see they were spread all over the field.
Ramirez at second, DeRosa at first, Fontenot the hitter. As I was saying earlier, Mike, with another error yesterday at short, and would commit yet another defensive miscue later in the ballgame at second. So 3 in the first 2 games of this series, and you don't often see a defensive switch like that as he and DeRosa swapped spots after the first inning. And on the hands and fouled off, but I think Lou in that spot, he just didn't want Mike to get buried out there at shortstop and feels that second base is his better position. DeRosa could play short if needed. You have Tarrio and Izturis as the main shortstops. And I give Lou credit for putting Mike at short in the first place, just to see if he could do it on an everyday basis, because he's trying to find a way to keep him in the lineup. And you know what? He hasn't played a ton of short in the minor leagues. He's played it a little bit, but again, I think second base is probably his best spot.
You want to put a guy in a position where he doesn't think too much. I don't mean that in a negative way, but you want a guy just to be able to react and know his position, know where he's supposed to be. And you put a guy in a position where maybe he isn't comfortable or doesn't feel as familiar with that position. He's going to be thinking before every pitch. What do I do if the ball's hit to my right, to my left, in, back? And you don't want a guy to think. You just want him to react.
Well, his first major league start at short was Tuesday against the Rockies. And the only chances he got were pop-ups. So I think Alan Trammell would have liked to have seen him get a lot of action early on just to get him into a rhythm, and he never did. I think any defensive player will tell you, particularly a shortstop, you want to be fairly busy out there and have some routine balls hit to you, get into a nice groove as he swings and misses. Angel Pagan will bat with 1 out in the inning. And how odd is that to have a shortstop go through a 9-inning game and basically have no ground balls hit at you?
That's really odd.
Fouled off to the left.
Errors seemed to be the order of the day yesterday, Len. I told you I went to Madison, Wisconsin to watch my son play in a Northwoods League game, and the Madison Mallards made 9 errors last night.
Were they taking fielding practice after the game?
Well, I'm sure they were up early this morning taking some ground balls that they didn't last night. It's kind of like a cold at a daycare center. Seems like once it starts, it's hard to stop. Normally very sure-handed players make an error, and suddenly they start thinking a little bit instead of just reacting to the ball.
Fouled back, still 2 strikes.
You see a lot of pitches up above the belt from Dave Bush. He's one of those pitchers in my eyes. He's better off probably going a little higher than trying to keep the ball down in the zone. He doesn't have a lot of sink on his fastball. It's fairly straight. He does throw that cut fastball. His changeup and his breaking ball do work down toward the ground, but that fastball, when it's up in the zone, very hittable.
Fielder's going to step on first base. That's 3 unassisted. Second and third, 2 outs. And it brings up Coy Hill, the catcher. Darrell Ward Getting ready for a pinch hit appearance maybe later in this ball game.
And normally this would be an automatic base on balls to Coy Hill right here with the pitcher on deck, but because Jason Marquis swings the bat pretty well, Ned Yost has elected to at least go after Coy Hill here. If they fall behind, they may end up walking him.
So bullpen action for Milwaukee. Carlos Villanueva. Boy, it never fails. You make a trade like the Brewers did. Figure, oh, we'll be fine in our bullpen. Crack deep to right. Corey Hart's back, and he's on the track right near the well. Makes a catch. Coy Hill gave it a ride, but the wind's not going to help him today. 2 runs for the Cubs to make it 4-0.
I can feel a change a-coming, start anew. Change, a change will do you good.
Michelob Light, crafted with noble European aroma hops. For a full-flavored light beer as distinctive as the bottle itself. Michelob Light, distinct by design.
Flying to the Washington area for business? If these 15 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines nonstop to Baltimore, Washington, and Washington Dulles International, maybe this will. Unlike other airlines, our low fares don't have hidden fees.
You are now free to move about the country.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet.
Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
Beautiful day on the north side as the Cubs lead the Brewers 4-0, trying to win this series. Start another winning streak, had their 7-gamer end yesterday. This is their final home game before the All-Star break. 7-game trip starting tomorrow in Washington. A win today, and the Cubs would capture their 3rd straight series win. And when you start the season, that's the goal. Win every series. Take 2 out of every 3. One to J.J. Hardy. Ripped past Terrio. First hit for Milwaukee.
The Cubs have found the friendly confines a little more friendly during this homestand. The 4-1 record going into play today. They've hit the ball well. ERA's a little high and more errors than we would like to see. But the thing about the errors, other than yesterday, they haven't really hurt. They've made errors with 2 outs and nobody on base. They've made errors and then immediately gotten the double play ball necessary to clean off the bases. So even though they have made 5 errors in the 5 games of this homestand, haven't really hurt as bad as they could.
Braun with 6 hits in the series, including 4 yesterday, 2 doubles and a home run. First pitch strike from Jason Marquis, who's looking for his first win since May 9th. 0-3 since with a 5.28, but the Cubs in the 9 starts that he's had without a win since his last victory. They've gone 5-4, so he has given his team a chance for the most part. Kind of fought that one off. It's going to drop for a hit. So the Brewers are in business.
Now, fighting it off is a good description right here. Tailing fastball in on the hands, gets jammed a little bit, but well, I tell you, Ryan Braun, for a young player, he does not get cheated. He's not afraid to go up there and really let that bat head go, and that time got jammed, but was still able to muscle it into left field for a hit.
Inside corner strike on Prince Fielder.
A 66 RBI on the season. It goes without saying Prince Fielder likes to hit with guys on base, but one byproduct of base runners is the Cubs cannot play the exaggerated shift that they would normally play with Fielder at the plate. His first at bat, we saw Mike Fontenot out in shallow right field. Ryan Theriot was on the second base side of the bag at second, and Aramis Ramirez was left to patrol the left side all by himself. But with the runner at second base, you can't do that. You have to be ready to defend against that play at third base, so the Cubs have to play it a little more straight up.
In the air, well hit. Pagan's going back on it. He'll run it down. Hardy's going to head back to second and tag and end up at third base, first and third. Nice running catch by Angel Pagan. That was thumped by Fielder. The ball sounds different off his bat, doesn't it? It has that Miguel Cabrera, Cliff Floyd sound.
Very crisp. The ball striking bat. And you can see where Pagan started. He was shaded over into left center a little bit. A long running catch. The wind helped knock that ball down, give him an opportunity to run underneath it and make the play, and his throw comes back into second base, holding the runner at first, keeping the double play in order.
So Hardy at third, Braun still at first. And the pitch to Bill Hall misses on a fastball, 1-0.
Once again from center field, Pagan with that long running catch at the warning track, gathers himself and doesn't try to make the miraculous play.
Hit hard on one hop. 6-4-3 double play. Nicely turned to get Marquis out of the inning, and it's still 4-0.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
What up, P?
Yo, I got an idea.
I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. I know you were right.
Fall in love with breakfast again. Get back that feeling with breakfast anytime you want with Denny's Extreme Grand Slam.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite itch? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
On the next Scrubs.
What is it about me that makes everybody walk all over me?
Your voice gets really high when you're upset.
Rhetorical question, okay?
Elliot's confidence gets kicked to the curb.
This car has maxed up my credit, but I think it's worth it.
But when she tries to juice things up,
I've been waiting for someone to come along. Here you are.
Her problems get even stickier.
That girl is extra strength crazy. Oh.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Today's Celebrity Bat Kids brought to you by Walgreens, the pharmacy of the Chicago Cubs. 12-year-old Lee Ratner from Deerfield, Illinois. Cindy May, 11, from Hoffman Estates, Illinois. Having a great day here at Wrigley Field, thanks to our friends at Walgreens. For more information and official rules of the Walgreens Celebrity Bat Kids sweepstakes, go to WGNradio.com.
Now, two little kids and one big kid in that picture. And the two little kids you see right away. There's the big kid.
Carlos Zambrano, who, by the way, as Marquise strikes out swinging, will pitch Tuesday. There was some speculation he might be moved up and pitch Monday, Saturday to have a chance to work in the All-Star game if named to the team. But even if he goes Tuesday, Sunday, the following Tuesday would be 2 days after his final start, would be his throw day. So he still could possibly participate if needed. After his last start, he said, "I'm available." Soriano high in the air to left. And it's Jeff Jenkins under it.
Now, this is a sight that we see on almost a daily basis. Carlos Zambrano taking ground balls at shortstop. We see Jason Marquis do it from time to time. Carlos does it almost every day. I mean, he does it because he has fun doing it, but also it serves a purpose. Gets his feet moving, gets used to reading the ground balls, making the plays.
Didn't he try to steal a home run either last year or the year before in Milwaukee during batting practice? Jumped at the fence. Played in that soccer match. Two down in the inning. Terrio with 2 doubles and 2 runs. Well, the theme really throughout the first half has been, if you're hot, you're going to stay in. If you're not, you might see a day or two off. And then if the guy who replaces you stays hot, he stays in. And you know what? Ryan Terrio, Felix P.A. have had a couple of slow stretches here. So it's been a battle to find playing time. But if you get back in there, and you know what? I think it's healthy pressure put on by your manager.
It's a great motivator, that desire to be back in the lineup. Not that Ryan Terrio is not motivated every day. He works as hard as anybody on this ball club. Takes ground balls at second, short, and third every day.
Fontenot's been so good at the plate. We can't take him out of the lineup. That's the way you like it. 2-2 from Dave Bush. On the ground to Weeks. It's the first 1-2-3 inning for the Brewers starter. Cubs 4, Milwaukee nothing after 4.
Visit the largest science museum in the Western Hemisphere, the Museum of Science and Industry, msichicago.org.
Verizon Wireless, feats of unlimitedness.
On June 14th, Becky Marks got a text from Kate Davies and got busy making history. Sending 48 text messages over the course of 3 minutes. Becky shattered the previous record held by Tommy Two Thumbs Thompson. Her parents' reaction? Relief. Because they have the new Verizon Wireless Premium plan. It's unlimited messaging, navigating, access to videos, and more. All from the network in one great plan for a great price. And now get an Envy in your choice of color.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinet. Chinet, life is served.
Underway here in the 5th inning, Johnny Estrada on the first pitch, grounding out to second base. As Mike Fontenot made the easy play.
And Jason Marquis just pumping strike one in there, and Johnny Estrada very aggressive. It's a little chopper to the right side. No problem. Good start to the inning.
Jenkins struck out swinging his first time. That's not going to happen here. Pagan drifting back already at the warning track. He's going to leap. He's going to bang off the door. And Jenkins will head toward third and get there with a one-out triple. First triple of the year for Jeff Jenkins. Pagan went over there, and that ball missed the ivy, hit the door, and it turned a double into a triple.
Well, it's a great call, and if that ball hits the ivy, it probably drops straight down. Jenkins just crushes this ball to the left to straightaway center, and you can see it hits the door. Ricochets back where Angel Pagan had just come from. And really no chance for corner infielders to get over and help on that ball. It was hit so hard and almost to straightaway center field, and when it ricocheted off that door, as I mentioned, it came right back where Angel Pagan started from. No chance for DeRosa to get over there and help.
Angel Pagan kind of doing some stretches out there after banging into that door. Weeks hits a ground ball. Jenkins is going to hold Ramirez with a double pump and throws out Weeks. So some hesitation by Jeff Jenkins, and now Marquis with a chance as he faces the pitcher Dave Bush to get out of the inning. Well, a little surprised considering the situation with the pitcher coming up that they didn't send him.
Yeah, normally you would go on contact with the pitcher in the on-deck circle. Number 8 hitter at the plate and a runner at third base. I think Jenkins thought that ball was hit directly at Aramis Ramirez, or at least a lot closer to him than it ended up being. A couple of steps down the line, and then he holds his ground as Ramirez throws across to first for the out. Good opportunity here for Marquis to avoid any damage after that one-out triple.
Is that one of those plays as a runner, if you hesitate at all, you've lost it, that's it, can't do it, right?
I mean, that's the idea of the play, the contact play. You're going on contact at the plate. It should make no difference where the ball is hit. And Jenkins with the slightest delay at contact. See, you could hear the bat crack in the background. Jenkins should have been off for home plate at the bat crack, and if he is, Ramirez probably doesn't have a play on him at the plate because he's moving to his left. He had to double pump to get the ball out of his glove and throw across to first base, but once you don't go on contact, you're almost committed to stay.
And if he's not going on contact, 2-1 on Bush, it's your ability to read it, but again, that's a split-second thing too. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That's what's left of that collision out there with part of the ivy in the door. As Pagano after that triple. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Brewers come up empty-handed. One out triple, no runs.
What up, Pete?
Yo, I got an idea.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain.
Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
Let's take a look at today's Honda Civic Games summary. Jenkins with that triple, but again couldn't score. And the Cubs getting contributions from the 2 and 3 hitters today. Terrio and Lee have combined for all 4 runs. Jason Marquis has helped out the pitching staff through 5 innings, shutting out the Brewers. Today's Honda Civic Game summary. Get performance and save gas. Test drive a new Civic at your Honda dealer today. Ball 1 on Derek Lee as we get underway in the bottom of the 5th inning. 4-0 Cubs. Have a nice Derek Lee / Cubs connection with this next note after the 1-0. Hit in the air. Corey Hart back. And he has it for the out. Tuffy Rhodes, who hit 3 home runs off Dwight Gooden on opening day 1994 with the Cubs, picked up his 1,500th career hit in Japan on Saturday. The all-time leader for most hits by a foreign player in Japanese baseball is Laurent Lee, who is Derek's uncle with 1,579. Tuffy Rhodes now with 1,501, so he's 78 away from that record in Japan.
Go on, Tuffy.
He's made a great career there. He has hit 383 home runs, the most by a foreign player in the history of Japanese pro baseball. Rhodes tried to make a comeback in the big leagues with his hometown Reds last year. But back in Japan.
Well, we talked earlier about Prince Fielder and his 10 errors on the season. A little bit surprising. Look where he plays for Aramis Ramirez. He is in almost the middle of the baseline between first and second. Still with the quickness to get over there and cover the bag on a ground ball hit to the left side.
Jenkins over, and that's a line out for Ramirez. 2 down. It'll bring up DeRosa. We'll see what field he plays for DeRosa. Still pretty far off first base. We talked about it in Milwaukee. He and Albert Pujols probably as far away from first base as any first baseman in baseball.
A couple factors. The hitter and the pitcher will tell you how far off that baseline you can play. If you have a guy on the mound that's throwing 98 miles an hour, chances are Prince Fielder would play a little bit closer to that first baseline with a right-handed hitter at the plate. But Dave Bush is not an overpowering pitcher against right-handed pull hitters. Prince Fielder figures he's not going to get the ball hit his way anyway, so why not get off that line, try to take away that base hit in the hole between first and second.
Gobbled up by Braun, moving to his left. And Bush seems to be settling in, but the Cubs lead 4-0.
From the night I went to the prom by myself to my 18th birthday party where all my ex-boyfriends showed up. It's all right here in the diary of me, Moesha Mitchell. Occupation, teenager.
Her name is Brandy. Her show is Moesha. Her message?
Follow your own star.
Weekdays at 5 on Superstation WGN.
Welcome to California.
We cruise.
We fly.
We run.
We go with the flow.
We let go.
And we believe one simple thing.
That every day in California is your lucky day.
Is your lucky day.
So there's just one thing you have to ask yourself.
How fast can you get here?
Find yourself in California. Southwest Airlines is taking low fares farther with more than 90 daily flights from Chicago Midway to these cities.
You are now free to move about the country.
Like I said, we live in a society where the individual ego and the group dynamic are in constant struggle.
Response?
Yeah, I have a response. What?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Nobody said this was going to be easy.
Now, see, if Geico.com had taken that approach, instead of telling everyone it's so easy a caveman can do it, I wouldn't be having an existential meltdown right now.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundae at Dairy Queen with creamy DQ soft serve, pecans, and... Wait, is it pecans or pecans? Pecans? Okay. Pecans and gooey caramel. Or is it caramel? Do one.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Rubber game today, and the Cubs lead Milwaukee 4-0. We get into the 6th inning. Top of the order now for the Brewers. Corey Hart. High drive to left. Soriano's just going to watch that one go halfway up the bleachers. Corey Hart now with a 17-game hitting streak. His 11th home run. And it's 4-1.
First pitch swinging from the Brewers. They know Jason Marquis wants to try to get ahead with that sinker and then expand the zone, and Corey Hart does not allow him to get ahead. Jumps all over that sinker and jerks it straight away left field for a home run.
So their first run comes in the 6th inning. Second in the National League in home runs, the Brewers with 112 now. 18 from J.J. Hardy already. Hart with his 11th. Fielder leading the league with 27. Hey, the Cubs would like to congratulate Mark and Bo McGuire. Their daughter Aileen got married yesterday in Winnetka. Timothy McAnally and Aileen McGuire tied the knot. Mark, the executive vice president of business operations for the Cubs, so congrats to the McGuires and McAnallys. Popped up by Hardy out into center. And it's Pagan calling and catching. How would you like to be featured as a 7th inning stretch singer at a Cubs game? For the first time, one lucky fan will get the chance to be the guest conductor and lead the Wrigley Field crowd in Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Fans can go to Cubs.com to get all the details and register to be included in the ultimate 7th inning stretch competition. Don't miss your chance to show the world how much you love the Chicago Cubs. Now you can come right up here and conduct the stretch. This microphone right here. Strike one on Ryan Braun. I'm going to say hi to Zach McGraw, 13-year-old Cubs fan watching in Alexandria, Virginia today. Maybe we'll see him in D.C.
I'd like to extend best wishes for a happy birthday to my sister Ann Griffith, who'll be celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Have a great day.
Hill wants it up. It wasn't. And he hit hard, but it'll be an out. And Fontenot throws out Ryan Braun. Time to have a ball with our friends from the Illinois Lottery. Former Scottie Pippen with our stretch yesterday. It was memorable.
We got the numbers right.
I don't care if I never
People ducking for cover up there in the radio booth.
That's our have a ball with our friends at the Illinois Lottery. Everybody thinks it's easy, right? Nice play by Lee. He'll spin, fire to Marquis, and they get the out. Scottie Pippen take us to break.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits.
Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Strong, like family. Strong, like friends. Strong, like tradition. For years, life's strongest moments have been served on Chinette. Chinette, life is served.
Bang, bang, bang! You have the right to remain silent.
Stories come to life. Weekdays, Homicide, Life on the Streets at 11 a.m. and Da Vinci's Inquest at 12 p.m. Only on Superstation WGN. Tuesday on WGN, the Cubs are feeling patriotic. Cubs, Nationals, Tuesday at 7 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
We start the month of July. Actually, cool temperatures, 67 degrees. At the corner of Clark and Addison. The wind blowing in very hard today. 14 out of the northeast. 4-1 our score. 2 balls, no strikes on Mike Fontenot. Here's a pitch from Dave Bush. Popped the mid at 90 on the fastball. 2-1, 9 straight. Eliminated by Bush since the RBI single for Mark DeRosa in the third. Ground ball after ground ball from both pitchers today. And Fontenot 0 for 3. Don't miss any of the action as the Cubs battle the Astros on Friday, July 13th at 1:20. The first 20,000 fans will get a scratch and win card. 500 random winners will receive an autographed Carlos Zambrano photo. Compliments of Wrigley. Fans are encouraged to hold on to their cards for second chance drawings throughout the game. For complete rules, visit Cubs.com. If the rotation holds up like we think it might, he might get the start that day. Our next telecast of Cubs baseball and WGN Sports will be Tuesday night from Washington, D.C., and Carlos Zambrano will get the start, 6 o'clock Central Time. We'll spend Independence Day in our nation's capital. An early start on Wednesday, 11 o'clock in the morning Central Time, right here on WGN. Get up early that day. Outside, 3-1 on Pagan.
You're looking forward to going back to RFK Stadium. I know that's one of your favorites.
It's one of, as I've said before, that's where they should have the National Hide and Seek Championships. You can see the press box from the field, but you're not quite sure how to get there. The cavernous RFK Stadium. It'll be our final trip there. They'll open their new park in 2008. There's a walk to Pagan with 1 out. First walk given up by Bush. Hey, Cub fans, don't forget to check out our baseball blog on WGNTV.com. On the blog today, I have a post about the Cubs All-Star possibilities. Game notes from our friends at Stats Inc., and it's all on WGNTV.com. Click on the link for Len and Bob's blog. We'll also be taping a new podcast after today's contest. Well, the ballpark aside, that's a fun place to visit. Washington, D.C. There's a lot to do. The pitch out. Nothing doing from the Cubs.
And I hear they put on a pretty good fireworks show 4th of July in D.C.
I would think so.
Looking forward to that.
I might have a hookup there and have a pretty good place to watch the fireworks. We have some political pull with the Illinois representatives and senators and the like who are huge Cub fans. So, yeah, we'll find a good spot. You're very much into fireworks. Where were we last year? Was it Houston?
Yeah.
And went out with the crew. We had a nice dinner, and we saw you when we got back, and you said, I went and just watched some fireworks.
It was 4th of July in Houston last year, yeah. Had a big concert right close to downtown Houston, and then the fireworks show afterwards. And the price was right.
Free, right?
If it's for free, it's for me.
Marquis on deck. 2-2 the count on his battery mate. Coy Hill, runner at first, 1 out. 4-1 Cubs in the 6th. Off the corner, full count. Pagan is running. It's bounced up there, and that's a walk. Back-to-back 3 passes. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Get your backstage pass to the tears, the talents, and the outtakes, including never-before-seen footage. American Idol Rewind, tonight at 8 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Len and Bob and our WGN Sports crew from Wrigley Field today as the Cubs wrap up this series against Milwaukee. Coming in, had to take 2 of 3 to get back into this division race. If they can hold on today, they'll be 6.5 out. This bunt by Marquis. Estrada will throw to Weeks covering first base. Sacrifice for Jason.
Nicely done by Jason Marquis. Struck out his first 2 at-bats of this ball game. Perfectly executes the sacrifice bunt. Down the third base line, you want to either make the third baseman Braun field it or the catcher field that ball. Somewhere close to that third base line. The only play he had was to go to first.
Well, Soriano will bat with runners at second and third, first base open. Just one more thing on Washington. I mean, I love going there. The only thing is, first time I went there, I kept hearing about you got to go to the mall, you got to go to the mall. I went to buy some CDs. I couldn't find a store. They heard about this great mall.
Wrong mall.
What's the deal?
It really is one of those places. If you ever went there on a family vacation, you could stay for 2 weeks and see something different every day and come away amazed. It's a lot to do.
It's a great place. Here's a pitch to Soriano. High, ball 1.
I'd be surprised if Bush gives Soriano anything close to the strike zone here. He's willing to let Alfonso chase pitches around the edges, but I just don't think he's going to come over the heart of the plate with anything hittable.
Alfonso Soriano returning to RFK Stadium for the first time after spending last year there. Mark Wegner said he went after that pitch, 1 ball, 1 strike. He'd be the judge. It was a good call.
Awkward looking check swing, but I think they got it right.
No hits in the inning. Back-to-back walks to Pagan and Hill. Blues sitting at the moment, but again, as we know, he likes to pace occasionally. Yeah, Mark Wegner was the guy who threw him out beginning of this month.
It seems like a long time ago. Almost seemed like that happened to a different team because the ball club has played so much differently since those events that happened right around that time period. It's almost like a completely different ball club, even though the personnel has changed very little.
Fly ball to right. Hart coming way over, slides, and he made the catch in foul territory. What a play by Corey Hart. 4-1.
Take a closer look at the award-winning series. Da Vinci's Inquest, weekdays on Superstation WGN.
Okay, now what? Rock, paper, scissors for it? Okay, that's fair. On 3? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
I threw paper.
I threw a rock.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Low 5.
That's cold.
They've always brought you great rooms at great rates. And now, the experts at Hotels.com are the first to bring you flexible booking, which lets you change or even cancel your reservation without any fees from us. So you don't have to worry if your plans change. And with the lowest price guaranteed, you never have to worry about paying too much. That's what flexible booking is all about. Just log on or call our certified experts now to find out more. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
Right now, you can log on to eHarmony.com and review your matches all for free. Aren't you curious to see who you're compatible with? eHarmony.com. Log on today.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicine. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
Hey, music fans, the OARs coming to the Charter One Pavilion on Northerly Island Thursday, July 26th with special guest August Stana, part of the Bud Light Concert Series. Tickets are on sale now. Visit livenation.com or call Ticketmaster at 312-559-1212. Bud Light and live music, always worth it as you enjoy some OAR. Jason Marquis saving the bullpen today. And speaking of the pen, a couple of guys are up out there as we begin the 7th inning. 4-1 Cubs as Bill Hall will lead it off for Milwaukee. First pitch strike. Cranking it up now. Marmol and Ullman.
Well, I mentioned it in the open of the show. Jason Marquis' last 6 starts, he hasn't been able to go past 6 innings. 5 2/3 is the longest he's gone in his last 6. Starting the top of the 7th here.
Our good friend, Notre Dame head football coach Charlie Weiss will handle a 7th inning stretch today. Marquis 4-6 in his career against Milwaukee. And a chance to beat them today. Hey, Ronnie Cedeno, see what's going on with him at Iowa? Home runs in 4 consecutive games. Hit 2 two-run shots, one in the first, another in the 6th. In the game yesterday, Iowa lost to Albuquerque, but out-hit them 13-9. So Ronnie in June, .391. with 20 RBIs, 8 home runs. Also 12 walks in 25 games. So Ronnie Cedeno making a case if the Cubs were to need another middle infielder at some point. Probably see him back in the big leagues. Well, Rocky Cherry admitted his numbers were not very good when he was demoted earlier in the year. He said, all I was thinking about was trying to get back here, and eventually I was able to regain my focus. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that's the first out, and that's pretty natural, especially after your first stint in the big leagues. You want to stay here and you want to get back as quickly as you can, but there's something to be said about just doing the job that is in front of you at that moment. No, not worrying about other things.
There's only one way to get back to the big leagues, and that's do your job at the minor league level. Hey, some things are out of your control to a certain extent. A guy like Rocky Cherry at this point in his career, there has to be some kind of an injury or somebody that's ineffective at the major league level in order for you to get that opportunity. But if you're the guy to get the opportunity, you have to be getting the job done at the minor league level.
Well, and having done a lot of different things in this game, as a player, as a manager, as a coach, and you've seen this, how guys handle getting sent out is a big, big thing. And what you say has nothing to do with what's going to happen. It's what you do when you go back to the minor leagues. Swing and a miss. 2 down.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Jason Marquis here in the 7th. You look where Coy Hill is. He wants that fastball up. Jason Marquis puts it right where he wants it. Gets the swinging strike from Johnny Estrada, who's a pretty good high fastball hitter from the left side of the plate, but that one's a little higher than he can handle.
Jenkins with a strikeout and a triple. And a nice note from A.J. Clay from Charleston, South Carolina. His parents, Jack and Nancy, big Cub fans in Charleston, Arkansas. Wanted to say hi to them today. Soriano coming in. Makes a catch. Here comes the coach from Notre Dame, Charlie Weiss.
Taking out to the ball game, Notre Dame head football coach, Charlie Weiss.
All right, Cubs fans, help me out here. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the ground. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jam. I don't care if
going to last. I'm ready to hit the Bud Light.
I already took care of it.
Say, well, all right, now we are gathered here today to join in marriage, Bob and Julie. Bob, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Julie, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband? Do I hear and I do, I do, do I hear and I do?
I do.
Going once, going twice, and I'll pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
And away we go. Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
So what I owe you?
100, 100 and a quarter, 100 and a half, 1/7 divide 200, 200 and a quarter.
That's cold.
For pain across your whole back, Icy Hot has it covered.
New Icy Hot Extra Large Patch starts icy to dull the pain, then hot to relax it away. For up to 8 hours of relief across your whole back.
Icy Hot has it covered.
Icy Hot XL. XL relief for XL pain. On the next Scrubs.
What is it about me that makes everybody walk all over me?
Your voice gets really high when you're upset.
Rhetorical question, okay?
Elliot's confidence gets kicked to the curb.
This car has maxed up my credit, but I think it's worth it.
But when she tries to juice things up,
I've been waiting for someone to come along. Here you are.
her problems get even stickier.
That girl is extra strength crazy.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Hey, great to see the state champs from 2006, the Class 6A champs from Normal Community High School in attendance today. As we get into the bottom of the 7th with Notre Dame head football coach Charlie Weiss. Nothing quite like this. Get a chance to meet Lou Piniella before the ball game. Handshakes all around. And Coach Weiss, always a pleasure to have you in the booth. We have a Wise on the mound and a Weiss in the booth. That's Matt Wise, now pitching for Milwaukee. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it was interesting having that conversation with Lou before the game.
What did Lou have to say?
Oh, he was talking about motivation. I said, I'm too much like you. You don't need me for any motivation.
2 balls and a strike on Ryan Terrio. A little bit outside. It's 3-1. So let's see, 9-3, 10-2. So 11-1 is next, right? How about 12-0?
Well, the interesting thing is we're young, and it's going to be very aggressive competition in the spring.
Terrio with his 3rd hit. Could be his 3rd double. And it will be. Good start to the 7th for the Cubs.
Did I mention that trying to get back into the lineup regularly is a good motivator? Ryan Terrio with his 3rd double of the ball game. He is making a statement for earning his way back into that starting lineup from our Southwest RoboCam. This time a hard ground ball past Braun down into the left field corner. Nice job by the Riot.
As you were saying, a young, aggressive ball club.
Yeah, a lot of competition. In the last 2 years, we were playing a lot of veterans, so it's going to be. It really has me energized because we're going to have a lot of competition and a lot of young guys are going to get an opportunity to play, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Into left field, base hit. 1st and 3rd. So every time Terrio has doubled, Derek Lee has followed with a single. Golden opportunity now to add on. The Cubs already with a 4-1 advantage.
Hanging changeup up above the belt to Derek Lee. Wise is fortunate that ball was only hit for a single to left field. That's the kind of hanging changeup that gets whacked out to the ball hawks on Waveland Avenue.
Well, it's Ramirez batting. He had a 2-run double in the 1st inning, reached on an error in the 3rd, line to left his last time, hits it hard, and it'll be a double play. 4-6-3. The Cubs do get a run, no RBI for Ramirez. Now, Coach, how much downtime do you really actually have during the summer?
I give my coaches off 4 weeks in July because we can't meet with the players until August 5th. But the players spend that time with the strength and conditioning staff where they can spend 8 hours a week with them. So on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they spend 2 hours a day. But I think this is the time where the assistant coaches get a chance to, get gas in their tank because once you start in August, it's a long haul.
Notice Bobby said the assistant coaches.
Yeah.
He didn't include himself.
You're right. I said the assistant coaches. I make sure I take enough time off where I don't get divorced. But other than that, I have a lot of work to do.
Speaking of your family, you had your son out there with you today.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3. The key to throwing out the first pitch is don't try to throw it too hard. Just get it to the catcher. Too many of those guys I've seen throw it to the backstop want to show their manhood and show how hard they can throw the ball.
That's a strike on Mark DeRosa.
Saw you talking before the ball game today to Milwaukee Brewer utility guy Craig Counsell, a Notre Dame alum, and we used to call him Rudy when he was in Arizona after the character.
Yeah, we had a nice conversation because he heard that I built a baseball field in my backyard, like a real baseball field, and he said, "Hey, I heard all about your baseball field in your backyard." And it was interesting having that conversation.
All right, let's check out your Patriots ring here, and
that's pretty sweet.
Maybe we'll do a little comparison here.
I'm embarrassed. Are you kidding me?
Here you go. You can put them next to each other right there. Have a little fun with that one. Pretty awesome.
Pull a muscle holding this thing up here.
Well, that was the third one. You know, Mr. Kraft, was very generous because each time we won another one.
Hey, my beer! Come here, you little varmint! You can run, but you can't hide! Oh, you think the tree's gonna save you? You furry freak!
Fred?
Hey, neighbor.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
Mine! Let go! No, you don't! Yes, I do! Let go, Fred!
That's cold. Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
5-1 Cubs. As we start the 8th, Carlos Marmol is now in. Great work by Jason Marquis. He was efficient all afternoon, 77 pitches. And a quality start, 7 innings, 1 run allowed. Gave up the home run to Corey Hart in the 6th. That was it. So the bullpen takes over, trying to get the final 6 outs. Ricky Weeks a batter, 2 strikes on him. The aforementioned Craig Counsell in the on-deck circle. He will hit for Wise.
But for Jason Marquis, just what the doctor ordered. We talked about it at the top of the show. They needed a long outing from their starting pitcher, and not only did Jason give him 7 innings, he was extremely effective for 7 innings. You say we need a lot of innings out of our starter today. You can do that very easily. Just leave him in the ball game regardless of what happens. But ideally, you get a lot of innings and you get effective innings, and that's what Jason Marquis brought to the table today.
And remember, Jason was a guy who last year for Tony La Russa had to give innings when he didn't have his best stuff and gave up a ton of runs, and it helped really inflate his earned run average. As you said, he was extremely effective all day. Swung on and missed. Slider is nasty from Marmol as he gets Weeks to offer at it.
Boy, this pitch is well off the plate away, probably a good 6-8 inches off the plate away, but such sharp late break from our Southwest RoboCam. It starts near the outside corner, just dive bombs down and away.
Picked up by Council. Back of the plate, Coy Hill makes a catch. The fans love it. 41,486. And if you add up the 3-game series, 124,810. That is a new Wrigley Field 3-game series record. Nice going, fans. Cubs have been playing here since 1916. Slider strike on Corey Hart. The Cubs in their 92nd year playing in this great ballpark. It was built in 1914. First National League game, April 20th, 1916, when the Cubs beat the Reds 7-6 and 11. Marmol goes 1-2-3. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Bottom 8, Cubs leading by 4.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With more flights to more places than ever before, Southwest is taking low fares even farther. Visit southwest.com.
My country, 'tis a the sweet land of liberty, of the I see.
This 4th of July, the people of Southwest Airlines join the people of the United States of America as we celebrate our independence.
From every mountainside, let freedom ring.
You are now free to celebrate your birthday, America.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the two of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not...
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen with fresh baked waffles. Do one. And now go to freezeclickwin.com for a chance to win $500 daily.
It's time to feel free with Chase Freedom. Feel free to choose points for rewards like travel.
I'm free to do what I want.
Or feel free to choose cash back.
I'm free.
Then feel free to change back again.
In the old time.
Without losing a thing. That's freedom. That's Chase Freedom. Get it free at chase.com/freedom.
Shaq Bauer is always one step ahead. No one can catch him except you. Catch 24 Saturdays at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
The Cubs host the Houston Astros on Saturday, July 14th at 2:55 in the afternoon. Kids, get to the ballpark early. The first 5,000 children 13 and under will receive a Cubs Mr. Potato Head Sports Spuds, compliments of RCN. You do not want to miss that one.
You're a huge Mr. Potato Head fan.
Yeah.
Brian Schaus, funky lefty, deals strike one on Mike Fontenot. Maybe Mike's last chance to extend his hitting streak. Right now at 12, trying to get it to 13. He's 0 for 3. Outside, ball 1-1-1. 21 for 50 during the hitting streak. Inside out swing, and it bounces off the top of the dugout and into the seats. Two on the way. To short for J.J. Hardy. 1 out. Time now for a Bud Light fan cam on a beautiful Sunday in Chicago. From Van Morrison, whenever God shines his light. By request from an emailer. Today's Bud Light fan cam, always worth it.
Well, the light is shining today. This is the kind of day, if you're going to take a picture for a postcard for the city of Chicago, this is the kind of day you wait for. Beautiful blue skies, sun shining, crisp wind off the lake. Just absolutely perfect conditions for a ball game. Somebody's smiling down on us.
You can feel the buzz in the ballpark as Pagan swings and misses. Chance to get back to 500. And you just feel like this team is getting better. Last year, going into July 1st, the Cubs were 29-50. This year, 39-40. Still a long way to go. A lot of baseball to be played. And the Cubs, with a win today, would get to within 1 of 500 at home. And that's the other good thing, is to see this team play better in this ballpark, which they have done the last couple of homestands. Went 4-3 the last time here. A chance to go 5-1 this week. Switch hitters now batting right-handed. Pagan. Now Hill. Carlos Marmol's on deck and might get a chance to close it out. And when you throw 9 pitches, they get 3 outs and all 9 are strikes. Gives you a good opportunity to go another inning.
And gives the rest of that bullpen, ideally, the rest of this ball game off, and go to Washington after the ball game with a fairly well rested and ready to go bullpen, other than Carlos Marmol.
There's a 2-out walk. Marmol hit a home run last year.
Be willing to bet money at some point in this sequence we're going to see a home run swing. He may not hit a home run, but he's going to try to hit a home run. Sure, he got some batting tips from Carlos Zambrano before taking this at bat.
Makes contact, but it'll be a fielder's choice as they get the out at second base. Here comes the ninth. Cubs 5, Brewers 1.
Including outstanding directing. Where's the target? Outstanding drama series.
I said drop it!
And outstanding lead actor Kiefer Sutherland.
Tell me where the bomb is!
24 weekends. Saturdays at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Irritating skin itch? Get the quick fix. Bug bite it? Get the quick fix. Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream helps stop skin irritations and itches fast with 2 strong medicines. Got an itch? Get Gold Bond Anti-Itch Cream, the quick fix for almost every itch.
on the next Scrubs.
What is it about me that makes everybody walk all over me?
Your voice gets really high when you're upset.
Rhetorical question, okay?
Elliot's confidence gets kicked to the curb.
This car has maxed up my credit, but I think it's worth it.
But when she tries to juice things up,
I've been waiting for someone to come along. Here you are.
her problems get even stickier.
That girl is extra strength crazy.
Next Scrubs, tonight at 11:30 Eastern on Superstation WGN.
Let's take a look at our upcoming Cubs and Sox high-definition broadcast schedule, sponsored by Comcast. Sox hosting Baltimore tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on WCIU Channel 26. The Sox are on WGN Sunday the 8th against the Twins at 1. Bob and I will be back in HD on WGN after the break Sunday, July 15th against Houston at 1 o'clock. 2007 Big League Baseball in HD, sponsored by Comcast. 10 pitches, 10 strikes from Carlos Marmol. 9th inning, 5-1 Cubs. Game 80 of the season. Cubs will hit the exact halfway point tomorrow. And a win today would improve their record against Milwaukee to 7-5 on the year. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Foul. Jason Carr from the Cubs media relations staff a day after his 30th birthday with a great catch.
He's a much better fielder now that he's 30. When he was 29, he was a little jumpy. That time he stayed right on it. Nice going, Jason.
Lazy fly. Could be some trouble, though. Soriano has to go off his glove. Hardy slides into second. It was not hit hard, but in the right spot. Soriano did get the leather on it, but couldn't pull it in. It's a double for Hardy.
A long run, and once again that wind pushing that ball. Soriano was able to get there, hit off the heel of his glove. The official scorekeeper took into consideration the amount of distance that Soriano had to cover just to get there. Even though that ball did hit him on the heel of the glove. Get some activity in that Cubs bullpen now. Will Oman cranking it up in a hurry. Prince Fielder in the on-deck circle. He may need some help from his teammates to stall here for a little bit of time if indeed they want Oman to face Fielder.
And Bob Howery is up as well.
When you're that close to your intended hitter, it's like aerobic warm-ups down there. You just crank it in there to that bullpen catcher as fast as you can throw it, get the ball back, and throw another one.
To right, DeRosa makes a catch. There'll be a tag as Hardy goes to third, but a huge play by DeRosa, getting that big first out.
We talked about Mark DeRosa on Friday. No matter where you put him on the field, he looks comfortable, he looks natural, keeps his eye on that ball. Changed directions a little bit right at the end of the play just to get in line to make that reaching catch down in the right field corner. Looking back up into the sun, he does not have the sunglasses flipped down, but makes a nice running catch anyway.
And that catch probably gave Marmol a chance to face Fielder.
I think you're right. Had that ball gotten down and two men on, nobody out with Fielder at the plate, or a run in and a runner on with nobody out and Fielder at the plate, we probably would have seen Will Oman.
Fans want that put-away pitch. Here it comes. They put him away. 2 outs.
Two overpowering fastballs up in the zone, and then he drops a nasty slider right underneath the bat of Prince Fielder for strike 3.
Ball without a hit and 3 tries. Runner at third, 2 outs. Ball 1 on a slider. Low and outside. Sweet Lou. And if that fan will ask Mark Wegner to sign it after the game. 1 strike away. Kick and a pitch. Struck him out, and the Cubs win. They take 2 of 3 from Milwaukee. A 5-1 win today. And the game-winning hits in this series for the Cubs, Aramis Ramirez. The game-ending home run in the 9th inning Friday. And Bob, a 2-run double in the first. That's all Jason Marquis and Carlos Marmol needed today.
Just enough offense the way Jason Marquis and Carlos Marmol pitched today. You didn't need a whole lot. Only the solo home run by Corey Hart leading off the 6th inning. The only blemish against the Cubs pitching staff today. Boy, Carlos Marmol, they use a term, sniffing the barn. If you've ever ridden a horse before and you get close to that barn, the horse knows it and he's ready to bring it on home. Carlos Marmol sniffing the barn, just blew a heater right past Bill Hall to end the ball game.
So the Cubs back to 500. Chance again tomorrow to get over 500 as they start a road trip. And final time these home fans will see their club in the first half. So 6.5 out in the National League Central. The only 2 teams that are at 500 or better in the National League Central. Milwaukee will head off to Pittsburgh. The Cubs to Washington, D.C. So Ryan Terrio. Hey, Ryan, can you hear us?
I got you.
Len and Bob with you.
Oh, yeah.
3 doubles, 3 runs, and every time you got on base, Derek Lee followed with a hit. That's nice synergy today.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun when it's working that way. You got guys back and forth with each other, getting hits, and that's how you win ball games.
No question, a big series for you guys, Ryan, and I know players try to downplay it. It's just another series. It's just another game, but can you take a little bit more out of this series given the fact that you beat the team 2 out of 3 that's ahead of you in the standings?
Yeah, you can definitely, and it's a big momentum kick for us. We went on a good run there, then we kind of had a disappointing game yesterday, so it's good to bounce back today and get this victory.
Ryan, one of the things Bob and I have talked about, you have probably more than 8 starting players, and Lou has gone with a hot hand. It's a different situation here, and if you play well, you're probably going to stay in there.
Yeah, it is, and it's it's one of those things for us as players that you always have to be ready to play. You always have to be ready to produce. I think it's a good thing for us because it keeps everybody fresh and everybody in the ballgame.
And the fact that you had to spend a little bit of time on the bench, is that a little extra motivation for you? I know you're pulling for the team. Whoever happens to be playing at your position that day, I know you're rooting hard for them, but I know as well you want to get back in the lineup.
Yeah, always. You always want to be the one out there when the game's on the line. You always want to be out there contributing. But, it is a team, and everybody has to be able to do their job because, in that playoff run, we're going to need everybody to be confident and ready to play. So, I think for me, it's fun to be out there, and it's great to help the team win. But, Lou's shown that he's going to go with the hot hand. I think everybody's fine with that right now as long as we're winning.
Nicely done, Ryan. We'll see you on the plane.
Thank you.
Ryan Theriot with a big day offensively. 3 for 4, 3 doubles, and 3 of the 5 runs as the Cubs beat the Brewers 5-1. More to come.
They spent months proving their talent to the judges.
I think you have a great voice.
Now they have to prove it to the world. American Idol's very first top 10.
You could be what the American Idol is all about.
And see who Simon predicts to be the very first idol.
You will win this competition.
American Idol Rewind. Tonight at 8 on Superstation WGN.
You're messing with the wrong guy.
We're up to 1 million hits. Sweet. Who is it?
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, right.
Verizon Wireless speaks of unlimitedness. How do you become 4-time Employee of the Month at a gas station? One word.
How do you get to Trafford Street?
Directions.
No problem.
Born with no internal compass. George Telesco overcomes this affliction by using his BZ Navigator with heroic frequency, dropping turn-by-turn directions like it's nothing. Because George has the new Verizon Wireless Premium plan. It's unlimited navigating, messaging, access to videos, and more. All from the network in one great plan for a great price. And now buy this LG and get a second free.
They've always brought you great rooms at great rates. And now, the experts at Hotels.com are the first to bring you flexible booking, which lets you change or even cancel your reservation without any fees from us. So you don't have to worry if your plans change. And with the lowest price guaranteed, you never have to worry about paying too much. That's what flexible booking is all about. Just log on or call our certified experts now to find out more. Hotels.com. We know hotels inside and out.
For the Chicago Cubs today, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. For Milwaukee, 1 run, 5 hits, 2 errors. The Cubs stranded 7. Milwaukee left 4. Jason Marquis gets the win, his first since May 9th. So he's 6-4 on the year. Dave Bush takes the loss. He drops to 6-7. 41,486 watched it. 2 hours, 8 minutes. Very briskly played game. And our Budweiser played the game in the first inning. And Jason Marquis made an unbelievable play, Bob, but also consider that this wasn't the first inning. It almost could have knocked him out of the ballgame.
Boy, and he was able to maintain his focus and get through 7 innings of this ballgame when the Cubs badly needed their starter to go deep. Nice job by Jason Marquis today to recover from that broken bat in the first inning.
So his first win in 10 starts. Budweiser, the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Open up a world of taste. 5-1, the final.
No matter what the label looks like, no matter how you say it, one beer is the perfect choice at any corner bar in any corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Your test results came back great. Looks like the two of you can have a nice, healthy child together.
So this means that I'm not...
No, you're not lactose intolerant.
They were made for each other. Waffles and soft serve in the new Turtle Waffle Bowl Sundays at Dairy Queen.
You got into Harvard Law?
What, like it's hard?
With action.
What the hell is happening? I blew up the building. Why? Because you made a phone call.
Adventure. And everything in between. From the classics to the cutting edge. And from first kisses to first loves. Our movies are where dreams come true. Superstation WGN.
Our next telecast on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station, will be Tuesday night from RFK Stadium in our nation's capital. The Cubs and the Nationals will play Game 2 of their upcoming 4-game set. It'll be Carlos Zambrano on the mound looking for his 10th win for the Cubs. Former Cub left-hander Micah Bowie scheduled for the Nationals. 6 o'clock Central Time will hit the air, our 60th year of bringing you Cubs baseball on WGN Sports. Baseball like it ought to be. 5-1 the final. We have our Chevy Dealers 10th inning show coming up next. Carlos Marmol doing a great job today. And Bob, I think he likes pitching late.
I think he does. And in keeping with Lou's theory about the offense, he goes with the hot hand. I wouldn't be surprised to see Carlos Marmol get some more opportunities to finish ball games.
The Chevy Dealers 10th inning show is right around the corner. The final, Cubs 5, Brewers 1.
Chicago Cubs baseball brought to you by Budweiser, who thanks you for being a designated driver. Your Chicagoland Dodge dealers. The Illinois Lottery. No matter how you play the Illinois Lottery. Have a ball. By Pepsi. Your world, your Pepsi. And by Southwest Airlines. Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, Southwest can get you there with over 3,000 nonstop daily flights to over 60 destinations. Visit Southwest.com today.
Just because I'm a foster kid doesn't mean I'm a lost cause.
I have the potential for greatness.
Some people have an attitude about me because my parents have problems.
I wish you could see me for who I am.
Don't be afraid of me.
And don't feel bad for me.
Just care what happens to us.
Dame una oportunidad.
If you can't be a foster parent, find another way to help foster children thrive.
Do something to help me make it.
Help make foster care better.
Just do something.
Don't write me off.
Don't write me off. Don't write me off.
Foster kids are our kids. This message brought to you by WGN TV and the Illinois Foster Care Agency in your community.
There may be better ways to spend 15 minutes online. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. There may be better ways to spend 15 minutes online. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance.
America's funniest home videos, weeknights on Superstation WGN.
This is the Chevy Dealers 10th Inning Show, brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevrolet dealers.
Just what the Cubs needed, a 5-1 homestand. They beat Milwaukee 2 of 3, and after having their 7-game winning streak snapped yesterday, they come right back and in 2 hours and 8 minutes handle the Brewers today 5-1. Really, this game was never in doubt for the Cubs. They got the 2 in the first inning. Jason Marquis was terrific. And again, 7 quality innings today. That's exactly what Lou Piniella needed.
Yeah, when that bullpen gets a little ragged down there, you need somebody in that rotation to step up. Today, Jason Marquis was the guy. He was fantastic.
Let's listen in. Lou Piniella meeting the media after the ballgame.
Well, a really good homestand. 5-1. We got 7 important games here prior to the All-Star break on the road. So let's hope we have a good road trip.
What happened to Jason's face?
The bat brushed the side of his face, and it didn't didn't cut him, but he had a lot of redness. Dangerous. Thing hits him in the eye, I mean, but it just brushed his high cheekbone next to his eye.
He was really efficient.
Yeah, he really was. You know, he's been working with Larry on... Actually, the last few starts, he's been getting back to where he was early in the season, and it's good to see because we need it. And he gave us just what we needed today. I mean, we pitched this ball game with 2 pitchers, and we rested up our bullpen a little bit. And Carlos really had electric stuff there for the last 2 innings of the ball game. Terrio at the shortstop position turned a real nice double play and got 3 doubles. And then Lee and Ramirez had good days too. And DeRosa, what a nice play he made out there in right field. That's a tough play out in that little nook and cranny of this park.
Well, how big is it to take 2 out of 3 in this series?
Well, look, we didn't want to lose ground in this series. So, 2 out of 3, 5-1 on this homestand. You can't ask for anything more. Milwaukee's got a fine ball club. They really do. But what's important now is that we follow this homestand up with a good road trip back east. We go to Washington for 4 and Pittsburgh for 3, and then we can enjoy an all-star break. But let's see if we can somehow extricate ourselves from the 500 mark on this road trip. On the upside.
Lou, was it a relief to get out of the first inning and see a 0 go up for them instead of a crooked number and then have a chance to jump out in front?
Well, they jumped on us the first 2 games. Yeah, they've been hitting left-hand pitching really, really well, and it showed in this series. When we threw right-handers against them, we were able to quiet them down some. So, but you know, Jason did. He got some ground ball outs, and we came right back on our bottom half and put some runs on the board. And basically, Jason made them hold up, and then Carlos finished it up. But it was a really well-played game, probably one of our better games of the year. It was quick-paced. The pitchers threw strikes. We made good defensive plays, and we got some timely hitting. I mean, really good baseball.
Do you think you guys made a statement that you're going to be challenging Milwaukee all the time?
Look, I don't know about statements, but we needed to go out and play a good baseball game after yesterday's lopsided loss. So we went out there and established ourselves and put some runs on the board, and our pitching and defense did the rest, and we were able to add some tack-on runs. That's the way you draw it up, and that's the way the game is played.
Well, you said last week, I think it was, you're going to rest Terrio for a few days.
I did. Yeah, you know, I watch these guys take batting practice, and I could see that the quickness in the swing was coming back. And we sat him down, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 days, whatever it was. And we've got him out there playing again now, and he's nice and fresh. And this is why you need a bench. So you've got to be able to do these things with these players.
The first inning, another example of what Ramirez means to this lineup.
Well, Ramirez, in that 4th hole, I mean, there's some good cleanup hitters around baseball, but Rami ranks up there with the elite. There's no question. And he's a good at bat. I mean, he gives you a good professional at bat, and he likes the idea of hitting with runners on base, and he enjoys driving in runs. And he wants to be up there in those situations.
His reputation over the years has been that he's not always given his all or hustle. Did you ever, in spring training, sit down and talk to him?
I haven't had to talk to anybody. Everybody that we have here has given me everything they got, and I appreciate it as a manager, and my coaches appreciate it as a staff.
Well, we're pretty much at the halfway point, 80 games for you, 81 for them. How important was it, though, to not lose any ground today?
Well, we didn't want to lose ground. That was the key thing here, and keep winning series. You know, you keep winning series, good things are going to happen. And that's exactly what we did. Now we'd like to win a series in Washington. We'd like to win a series in Pittsburgh and enjoy an all-star break.
You put Marquis, I think, after 77 pitches, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what was your thought?
Nice positive outing. He hadn't won since May 9th. He's been getting better, but I wanted him to leave with a good solid performance, feeling good about his performance. That's exactly what he did.
So the Cubs beat the Brewers 5-1. We'll have all the highlights when we continue.
Before you order your next beer, consider this. Budweiser still goes to the expense of Beechwood aging, an original old-world style of lagering. And Budweiser cares enough to own and maintain world-renowned hop farms. A perfect choice in every corner bar, in every corner of the world. Reach for the perfect balance of flavor and refreshment. Budweiser. Open up a world of taste.
Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
Concentrate on the ball?
Well, I saw both of them pretty vividly. You know, I really tried to concentrate on making the play, and I figured the bat was going to hit me at some point, so whether I try to move or not, but I just tried to close my right eye, make sure, you know, obviously it didn't affect that, and, you know, it got me right underneath the eye and then hit me on the forearm, but you know, I really just tried to make the play, so.
Well, Jason Marquis, such a great athlete. We know about his exploits at the plate and a good defensive day today, and one of the best plays we've ever seen on that one.
Well, all things considered, you've got the barrel of the bat somewhere close to the baseball, but as you just heard him say, he was just focusing on making the play. What kind of concentration is that you're able to stay on the baseball even though you know the bat's coming your direction?
And it's our Culver's sweet defensive play of the game, the third batter, and Ryan Braun, for that busted bat ground ball. Marquis kept his composure, got the baseball, flipped it to lead. That ended the first inning. And our Culver's sweet defensive play of the game. Aramis Ramirez got the offense going after a couple of back-to-back hits, Terrio and Lee, and Aramis scoring both with a 2-run double. That would end up being a game-winning hit, his second of the series. Derek Lee, one of his 3 hits following Terrio doubles. This was his lone RBI today. They would account for all the runs. Terrio scoring 3 times, Lee scoring twice, Mark DeRosa knocking him in, making it 4-0 in the third inning. And good defense for the Cubs. Angel Pagan running down this well-hit ball by Prince Fielder in the 4th inning. Then they get the 6-4-3 double play to get out of that inning with no damage after the first 2 it reached. Only offense today for Milwaukee, the leadoff homer in the 6th for Corey Hart. He extends his career best hitting streak to 17, his 11th of the year. But that would be it for the Brewers as Carlos Marmol would come on. He would face 7 in 2 innings, gave up a leadoff double in the 9th, but 4 strikeouts in his 2 innings of work. And the final out of the game, with everybody standing, gets Bill Hall to swing and miss at that heater. And the Cubs beat the Brewers today 5-1 the final, and we'll wrap up the homestand in a moment.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show is brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
What's so funny? It's supposed to be a parrot, not a carrot, you moron. Listen up! 3 Bud Lights for everyone, if this doesn't leave the room.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
You know, you only need one eye patch.
That's cold. Wouldn't you know it? One moment we're on the road to romance, when suddenly it gets interrupted. That's why, for guys like me with ED, there's Cialis. Cialis is the only erectile dysfunction tablet clinically proven to both go to work fast in as little as 30 minutes for some men and work up to 36 hours. The fact that Cialis can work fast is great, but having up to 36 hours gives me the option of being ready once the moment is finally right.
Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medications and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help if you experience priapism, an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease in vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
Why ask your doctor about Cialis? Because even after an interruption, you can still be ready.
When the moment is right, you can be ready with Cialis.
The Chevy Dealer's 10th Inning Show has been brought to you in part by Culver's Restaurants, home of butter burgers and fresh frozen custard.
So the Cubs beat the Brewers today, 5-1 the final. Cubs with 8 hits, no errors, 7 men left. Milwaukee, 5 hits, couple of errors. They left 4. Jason Marquis with his first win in 10 starts. First victory since May 9th, getting July off to a winning start after going 0-2 in the month of June. Carlos Marmol didn't get a save today, but pitched extremely well out of the bullpen. The Cubs timely hitting today. Once again, Terrio Lee, Ramirez, DeRosa all coming up with big hits. Our next telecast of Cubs baseball on WGN Sports, your official summer baseball station. Tuesday night from RFK Stadium in Washington, D.C., the Cubs play the Nationals in Game 2 of their upcoming 4-game series. After this series with Washington, 3 in Pittsburgh, and then the 4-day All-Star break. So we'll hit the air at 6 o'clock Tuesday night from D.C. Great way to wrap up the homestand. The record matched the score today. Cubs went 5-1. They beat the Brewers 5-1 on a beautiful afternoon. Cubs setting an all-time Wrigley Field 3-game attendance record at 500. We'll see what the record will be at the break. 7 to go. 5-1 the final. We'll see you Tuesday.
The tears, the talent, and the outtakes. American Idol Rewind. Saturdays on Superstation WGN.